Hey guys, so week 152 here on the homestead. 152 weeks ago I gave up everything, moved to Bulgaria and started my homestead. So let's see what we've been up to this week. Thanks Buttons. Hey guys, so 152 weeks, and this week has had a lot of ups and downs. It's been a very changeable week. We started out with getting some snow early on in the week, which meant I had to go and till the field with the chicken manure on it. So that's all been tilled in and is now ready to plant. And then as the snow came, I started off doing some turning. As you can see, I haven't actually completed that because I've actually really hurt my leg and it's very painful for me to stand for any prolonged period of time. So for the second half of the week, what I've been doing is watching Netflix and YouTube and of course playing some computer games. But anyway guys, let's see what else we've been up to here on the homestead. Hey guys, so today I'm going to take you through making a bowl from scratch, and the first thing we've got to do is take a slice off of this log that's on the left here. So we're going to get the chainsaw fired up and cut a log. The most important part of this cut is to make sure that both of the flat surfaces are parallel to each other. Okay, so the next step, what we're going to do is mark out a circle, but this section here, this is all rotted, so it's going to be very weak, so we're going to try and avoid that, or most of it. It'll still create an interesting edge to the bowl, so we just use a circle, mark out a circular shape, and then what we're going to do is cut that out roughly with the chainsaw. So there, you can just see I've got some guidelines. We're just going to miss this rotten section, but it does go through into the wood, so there's going to be a defect running through the bowl this way. It could be quite interesting, but we won't know until we get it on the lathe. Alrighty, so next thing we have to do is mount the block on the lathe. We put this, which is the chuck effectively, on the back of it. This will be the bottom, this will be the top. And then we just screw it in place roughly central as best as we can make out. Just screw them down loosely to start with. Takes 8 screws in total. Always try to use new screws because as they are on the lathe they will experience quite high forces. These things spin, I think this will spin at about 800 RPM, so the edge will be going roughly about 50-60 miles an hour, and every time the tool touches the wood it creates torque force against these screws, so they are actually holding back quite a lot of force, especially when you think this is probably a, I don't know, 3 kilo lump of wood. Edge travelling at 50 miles an hour. That's a lot of force for those screws to take. But now it's mounted, we'll get that set up here on the lathe. Right, so now this block's ready to go on the lathe. What we're going to do is just first of all block this from turning, just by putting a spanner locked in place. And we take the block and screw it on. It screws the opposite way to the way it spins, otherwise obviously it would undo itself as it spins. It doesn't need to be super tight. We just give it a spin. There is a heavy point here, but I think that's balanced out because of this light point here. As we take material off, it will automatically balance, but the first few cuts are going to be pretty unbalanced. There's possibly a little bit we could have taken off here to balance it up, but it's not too bad. It's not spinning around super quickly. So it's a little bit out of balance, but it should be good enough. In fact, it's doable. And of course, I would just like to say a very happy Mother's Day to my wonderful mother, who actually made all of this possible. Very, very helpful, very, very lovely lady. The best mum in the world, of course, and I didn't forget at all. Happy Mother's Day. Love you loads, Mum.